What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from the Ithaca Beer Company, and they're out of Ithaca, New York, and this is their vanilla porter. So this is a vanilla porter, and on the label it says ale brewed with vanilla extract. Comes in at 6% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, and this can is approximately 3 months old. So it's been quite a while since I've reviewed something from Ithaca on the channel. The last time I drank and or reviewed one of their beers, December of 2022. So just over 2 years ago. A long time, too long for a brewery that I consider they were very helpful in my craft beer journey, especially in the early to mid 2010s. So I picked up their winter seasonal, which, by the way, is a beer that I've never had before. Sounds pretty good. Now, when it says vanilla extract, I was a little bit bummed out, but I did check their website, and they do say that they brewed this one with 100% pure bourbon vanilla extract, so that's good. And yeah, anyway, I'm really stoked for this one, so let's crack it open, get in the glass, see what we got going on. Now, I will say I clamor for the early to mid 2010s when it comes to beers like this, vanilla porters, for instance. A little bit of a cheat there. Because there were so many good ones back then, like a lot of good vanilla porters. Nowadays, there's all types of pastry porters and pastry stouts and this and that. And I am going to spill this a little bit on the table. I do have my paper towel, so we'll be all right. Yeah, it'll be all right. But yeah, I yearn for the early 2010s when it comes to vanilla porters and things like that. There were so many good ones. One of my favorites, and I don't know if Stone ever brought it back, but it was their smoked vanilla porter. That one was different because they used smoked malts and it just had a different overall vibe to it. But man, did I enjoy that beer. So I'm hoping that this is just a good vanilla porter, and we'll see. So let's get out the contraband flashlight. I've been calling this the contraband in like some of the reviews recently, and I don't know why. I meant the contraband flashlight. So somebody mentioned, I forget in the comments here, like, this looks like you're getting out to look at contraband, and kind of. So yeah, this is pitch black. It was pouring out very dark, like mahogany color, but this is 100% pitch black in the glass. Has about a 2-finger, super creamy looking, I call that straight up brown colored head. I shouldn't say super creamy. Creamy enough, but it does have some bigger bubbles mixed in with some smaller bubbles, so it has a little bit of a soap sudsy kind of look to it, but when I was pouring it, definitely looked quite creamy, and I would say that just looks like a good vanilla porter. So let's get a nose on it. It's just the classic vanilla porter nose. There's a roasty, toasty malt character. One thing that I've noticed with porters over the years, and there's a whole debate of how different a porter is than a stout. You can go back hundreds of years with different data and people talking about it, and nobody really knows. But nowadays, a difference for me for a porter stouts, porter usually a little bit lighter bodied, and sometimes it doesn't have roasted malt in it. But more often than not, I don't find it as roasted as a stout. This has more of a toasted kind of malty character, like a big, deep brown bread. But usually when it comes to vanilla porters, I get chocolate. This has a sweet, dark chocolate, some caramel, and some vanilla. A little bit of an earthy kind of hop character. Maybe a skosh of a cherry. But for the most part, toasty, roasty, brown bread, chocolate, caramel, vanilla. Smells good. Smells like a classic. Let's get into it. Cheers. That's precisely what that is. Oh, I like the finish. Ooh. So the base of this beer, they call it robust porter on their website, so it could be American/robust. And I'm definitely getting that in the taste. It has a little bit of a hop kick on the finish. It's 3 months old too, but it's not like an out of place hop kick. It's like appropriate for an American or like robust porter that you see from like Great Lakes Edmund Fitzgerald, or something like Deschutes Black Butte or Smutty Nose Robust Porter. But it has a beautiful pop of vanilla. The body on this is like low to medium body, so 6%, it's fine. I like to see a little bit bigger, maybe like straight on medium to touch over. It's a little bit thin. The mouthfeel is fantastic though. A mild to moderate carbonation, more approaching moderate, but it has a nice creaminess on the sides of the palate and going down on the finish. A little bit of smoothness too on the finish. Look at that glass lacing too. That's some of the best glass lacing that I've had in a beer in a while. That is absolutely fantastic glass lacing. The taste. It's simplistic, but has nuances of complexity. So what I mean by that is it really does deliver on a vanilla porter. Vanilla, roasty, toasty malt, chocolate, more of a sweet dark chocolate, and some caramel. Underlying, again, I'd say more like a sweet dark cherry, maybe a little bit of like a raisin, a figgy, plum, kind of, dry dark fruit. But for the most part, it delivers on the vanilla, chocolate, and caramel aspect. That's front to back. I get those three notes specifically, and then underneath that is that toasted, roasted brown bread, and then a little bit of the fruits I was talking about. On the finish, it hits with this nice earthy, it's like an earthy hop character. It's approaching moderate bitterness, so if you're too worried about picking this one up and thinking it's going to be just a vanilla bomb, super sickly sweet and whatnot, I'm drinking this one 3 months old, and let me tell you, it definitely not. Does it lean a little bit sweet? Sure. Like maybe 55-45 or 60-40 sweetness to like a dryness and a bitterness. Again, almost moderate bitterness on the finish. I'd say semi-dry. This isn't super dry. It has more of a bitterness to it. 6%, you can't tell. I want to say I'm shocked, but Ithaca is one of those old school breweries. Flower power is still great when you can get it fresh. I don't buy it that often because I've already reviewed it on the channel. I will re-review it. That's the second ever beer review I've done. I don't remember if I re-reviewed it. I may have, but that is a beer that got me into IPAs, period. Delicious beer. But we don't see a ton of new Ithaca stuff here in Buffalo. We see them from time to time. I've seen this on the shelves a couple times, but I finally picked it up, and I'm glad I did. Why? This is actually quite nice. It's very nice, actually. I'm kind of surprised because it's just a vanilla porter, and nowadays my palate is, it wants more, right? Sometimes less is more, and I think this is the perfect example. So I'll take one more sip, and then I'll lock in a rating. Yeah. That vanilla is the star of the show, but it doesn't overwhelm. Has a nice other malt character. That earthy hop bitterness on the finish really helps balance this one out. I'll tell you what. This, my friends, is a damn tasty beer. I'm going to pour the rest in, because guess what? I'm drinking all this, obviously, so why not pour it in? Get rid of that glass lacing that was so beautiful to look at. I am pleasantly surprised by this, and I'm going to give it a pretty damn high score. So, Ithaca Vanilla Porter. I'm going to go low 4.25. I'm going to go 4.15. This, my friends, is kind of hitting the spot. And like I said, we're talking about just a vanilla porter here, nothing crazy. And sometimes you just want that simplistic kind of, hey, add vanilla to a base robust or American or even English porter and go from there. And we did. And this is what we ended up with. And I'm stoked about it. Price point availability, I paid $2.79 for that can, and 4 packs were $9.99. Yes. 6% vanilla porter. Very tasty at 4.15. That's like the third time I've stuttered. What was happening to me right now? 4.15 out of 5. Yes, all day, every day, as I'd like to say. And then availability, it's Ithaca. If you see Ithaca stuff, this was their winter seasonal. I'm posting this in early spring, so I don't know if it'll still be on the shelves for you if you do get Ithaca, but it was on the shelves for me. And again, 3 months old. It's drinking quite well, honestly. And I'm curious to see if it was fresher, if it would pop more, that bitterness, the hop character would pop more. I have no idea. So if you have had this one before, please post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. If not, what's your favorite vanilla porter of all time? Like I said, I think the Stone Smoked vanilla porter was probably, if not my favorite, definitely up there of the ones I can remember. But this would be in the conversation. I'm being honest with you. This would 100% be in the conversation because it is just a well-made, well-constructed vanilla porter. Nothing more, nothing less. So appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. 6%, like I said, can't taste it. Just great beer. To the next one. Cheers.